Hello and welcome back. This week we're going to be modeling the body, the legs, and the arms. The arms are the most complex of the three, so we're going to do them last. But the body and the legs are super simple and shouldn't take us long at all. Yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is come up to Add Mesh Cube, and we're going to move it up to where the body is and press Ctrl 2. That's the shortcut to add a subdivision surface modifier. Right click and shade smooth. This time we are not going to apply the modifier and just jump straight into edit mode. It makes it easier to edit if we don't have all of the points of the circle, and this is a simple shape so we don't need to apply it. I'm now going to grab my loop cut tool because we're going to add a couple loops in. I'm going to click and drag down one edge loop, and then I'm going to move my shape back up to match. And then I'm going to grab my loop cut tool again and move it somewhere in the middle. And now I should be able to grab these and move them in, and I'm just trying to line up my shape with that kind of crease in between his legs. And I'm just shaping these vertices to match my reference image. I'm then going to move to the side view with 3 on the number pad, and I'm just going to start moving these to match up with my shape again. Now this is a super simple shape, so it shouldn't be too hard. So I'm just going to move these around until they kind of line up with what I want. And that's it for the body. Super simple. Let's move on to the legs now. They are super simple again, pretty much the exact same process as the body. Add a cube, Ctrl 2 to add a subdivision modifier, shade smooth, and then pop into edit mode and line up those vertices. I'll add another edge loop at the top there just to give me a little bit more control over the shape, and I also pop back into edit mode for the torso just because I want to make his body a little bit longer. And then I just continue lining it up from the front and side view, tweaking my body, mirroring the legs with a mirror modifier like we did with the ears, and then making sure everything lines up from the front and the side. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the legs. Super simple. Now we're going to move on to the arms, which are a little bit harder and require some new techniques. We're going to add another cube for the arms, Ctrl 2 for a subdivision surface, and shade smooth. This time I'm going to add a mirror modifier right off the bat and just pick the body and move them over in object mode. I'm going to scale down the circles so that they kind of match the shape of the end of the hand. Go into edit mode and grab the top left vertice and press G for grab and move it up to the shoulders. I'm going to shape this a little bit more, and as you can tell, this already kind of gives us the overall shape of the arms that we want. Where it gets more complex is when we want to add that little divot or hole where his thumb is. And what we're going to do to make that is actually go into edge mode. We've been using vertex mode till now, so we're going to click on the edge icon up here and move our camera down. We're going to select these two edges at the bottom of the shape and press Ctrl B for bevel. And drag your mouse out and just try and make that a nice smooth shape again. We're then going to click on this edge here and grab it and move it up. We're then going to select this edge here and bevel it again, Ctrl B. We're then going to go into face select, grab this face and press G to move it up. Now you just want to kind of make a little funny claw shape, but trust the process. Pop back into edge select mode and just select this edge on the end here and move it closer inwards. We're then going to jump into face select mode. Grab this face here, which is going to be our thumb, and press E for extrude, and just drag it out. And as you can see, we've kind of made a thumb. So now we want to make our thumb not so wide, and I just want to select all of these faces next to the thumb. I can select this loop with Alt click, and then Shift select this face on the bottom. And I'm just going to scale them in and make the thumb a bit skinnier. Very nice. You may notice some funky shading around the fingers here, and this is caused by what's called an ingot. It is a face with more than 4 sides. So what we're going to do is jump into face select mode, select the face on the front and the back, and just delete it with X, and then choose faces. So to fill this in properly, we're going to select our edge loop by holding Alt and clicking on the edges, and then go face and grid fill. Now if this didn't work for you, it might be because you've got an uneven amount of vertices on your selection. You can fix this just by adding a loop somewhere along the side there and then trying again. Now if you open this little settings down the bottom left, you can adjust the span and the offset to make sure that your edge loops look very tidy and nice. If you accidentally close this menu, you can open it back up by pressing F9. So here, when I fill this side in, they're not super straight, so I adjust the offset to make them straight again. And as you can see, this has a lot nicer shading than what we had before. I'm now just going to start making some edits just to make it exactly the shape that I want. I'm not going to really worry about my reference at this point because I kind of know what I want it to look like. But if you guys want to look back on your reference and just double check, then go for gold. And that's pretty much our arms done. I'm going to unhide the rest of my mesh just because I'm going to get him ready for animation. I want to rotate his arms outwards, and I want to put him in kind of a T-pose so his arms are outstretched. This will just help us do rigging later on. They're a little bit far forward, so I'm just going to move them back. And that's my arms done. I finished modeling the base of my Munny Doll. Yay! Now we just need to do a couple things to tidy him up and we'll be all done. So when we go to rig and when we go to texture paint, all of these modifiers that we have are going to get in the way. So to tidy this up, select everything with A and then go Object, Convert, Mesh. And what this does is just applies everything, gets rid of all your modifiers, and your wireframe should look something like this. If it's way more black than this, way more dense, then it's probably a bit too high. But if it looks something like mine, then you're on the right track. You should be ready to texture paint and do a little bit of rigging in our next couple of classes. Congratulations.